Hello and welcome to the Parenting Connection and the Parenting Success Week. My name is Mireia or Mia, and I'm really excited to have you here today. I will be sharing lots of practical information, tips, and tools to help you in your parenting journey because parenting can be really tough and really hard, but it's also really rewarding. And I always see parenting as climbing a mountain, and it's a mountain that you're going to be climbing for the rest of your life. So, if we get the right support in place, climbing that mountain is going to be a lot easier. And when you fall, they can pick you up. And when they fall, you can pick them up. And having that support is going to build your resilience, your confidence, and everything that really matters in life. And you can also support your children climbing their own mountain with a lot more power and a lot more strength. So it's about having that support in place. And I also think as parents, we try our best and we do the best we can. And the best we can looks different every single day. And that's okay because we don't always have the same energy, the same motivation, and the same circumstances. And we need to accept and acknowledge that some days are harder than other days. But just showing up every single day, whether it's your 10% or your 100%, that's all you can do. And that's okay. And good enough is good enough. And it's absolutely perfect. And perfect parenting is whatever you can do that day. And that is perfect. So we all got a bit of perfect inside us. And it's acknowledging that we got this, we have it in us. And being a parent doesn't come with a manual, but if we are willing to learn from our children and pay attention, they can teach us everything we need to know. So putting the right support in place, I'd like to go through some of the things that I see keep coming up as real challenges for us parents in life. The first thing is lack of time. We need to prioritize constantly, and I don't know about you, but I'm most of the time and I'm absolutely exhausted about having to make decisions and what's more important. For example, should we just play out? It's the evening time after school and we're playing outside. Should we stay playing outside? Should we go inside and cook dinner? Should we go inside and do our homework? Should I go inside and send that email that I really need to send because they're waiting for me to send that email to get the next job done? Should I go and do the laundry? Should I? It's always making decisions and setting priorities constantly. And there's no right or wrong. We're just going to pick, and whatever it is, that's what it is. And that's it. And we'll always wonder, what if I had done that? So, something that helps me make decisions, and it might help you as well, is what will I regret the most tomorrow if I don't do it today? For example, of all these different choices that I just gave you examples, will I really regret if my kids are not playing outside, but I sent that email and I got dinner done? Will I really regret not sending that email? What's the thing I'm going to regret the most? And that thing is the one I'm going to pick for today. If I don't send that email, that's okay because I can wake up 10 minutes early tomorrow and send it tomorrow. If I don't make dinner, look, we've been having nice dinners all week. It's going to be porridge tonight. That's fine. If kids don't play outside, it's all gonna be just so crazy. We're all very overwhelmed and they actually do need to go outside, and then tomorrow it's gonna be a fight in the morning because they didn't get their outdoor play. So that's what I'm gonna pick today. And that's how I solve my lack of time. We can't do everything. That's physically impossible, but we can structure things in a better way and set priorities that actually make sense. The second thing is guilt. Guilt is all down to expectations and setting expectations that are not reality. Because we might see them on social media, or we might have a perfect neighbor that has it all together all the time, or we want to think so. And that's where guilt comes in. If we have expectations of 10 and we only achieve 3, between 3 and 10, that's your guilt. If we have expectations of 5 and we got 4, that's your small guilt. If we got expectations of 1 and we got 5, that's your no guilt. So it's all about setting expectations that are real to you, your family, and your circumstances. We all love giving advice, but what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for others. So it's about understanding and accepting the circumstances of each and individual and each family, and then knowing what really works for you and setting those real expectations. Work life balance. There is so much guilt in that when we try to juggle both and find the right balance between spending time with our kids and also doing what we need to do for work. And if we focus a little bit more on the positives, kids, when they see us working, yes, we might not be giving them all of our time. We might be neglecting some aspects of life. We might be not feeling that we're doing the right thing. But when they see us working, they learn so much from it. They learn about commitment. They learn about responsibility. They learn about consistency, and they learn about being grateful and appreciate the things they have in life, because they know there is an effort behind everything that they have, behind everything you do. And they might not show that, but it's that consistency that's going to teach them that you need to make an effort and resilience. And that all comes not from what you say to them and you teach them. That all comes from what they see. So when you're feeling guilty about spending too much time doing other things and not what you think you should be doing because you have no choice really, think about all the positives that are behind that. Everything that they're going to mirror and everything that you're reflecting on them, that they're actually learning from seeing you and being so committed to your work and the things that you need to do. Self-care. Self-care is massively important, and yet it brings so much guilt to us mummies. Self-care is really important because of three things. The first thing is because we can't pour from an empty cup. If we don't fill our cup, if we don't fulfill our own needs, we're not going to be there for them the way they need us to be. We need to mind ourselves, because then we'll get sick, and I know it's easier said than done, but it is possible to schedule a little bit of time for yourself and the things that make you happy every week at least. The second reason that why self-care is so important is because they're going to do what you see. As I said, they mirror what they see. If you want them to look after themselves as they grow older, to follow their own dreams, to fulfill their own needs, you need to show them that you're doing that too. Because if all your happiness depends on them, that adds a lot of pressure. If they're your only priority and you never prioritize yourself, and then you complain, I have no time for myself. I'd love to get my nails done, but I have no time for that because I have to do these. I have to bring it to after schools. That's adding a lot of guilt and pressure on their plates. So looking after yourself is indirect. It's going to work on their own development as well as you do it, because they're going to see how you do it, and it's going to give them the tools to then do it themselves. And the third reason why self-care is so important is because when things get tough and challenges come up, you're going to be the calm parent you need to be to deal with those situations. And children learn not from what you say to them again, but by how you react to those challenges and situations in life. So the way you react to anything that comes up and it's unexpected and it's a reaction, that's how they learn. That's how they learn how to react themselves to those same situations. So by you doing that piece of self-care and being the calm parent you need to be, it's going to be a much more meaningful way of dealing with situations, because it's not just about how you deal with it in that moment, but about how you teach them how to deal with those situations in life for themselves. The next one is effective communication. And I think communication is key for success. It's so, so important. And everything we do and say and see and learn is always down to communication. But I will talk about these in more detail on the next episode tomorrow. The last one is lack of support. Lack of support is really, really damaging for our mental health, because we don't realize, and we try, as I said earlier, we try to do everything to prove ourselves that we can do it, and we feel bad and we feel guilty for asking for help because we see that as we're failing in parenting. And having that lack of support, that's what we're here for. That's what everybody's around us for. We're social human beings, and we need support, we need help, and we can achieve so much together. So it's like a safety net, and we're here to catch you. So we need to use that safety net, because then we can all help each other and we can be so powerful together. But I'd like to talk just a little bit about myself and how I got here. I've a degree in primary school teaching and a master's in psychology. I've always been so passionate about helping other people, and because I had so much play growing up, I could see the power and how that made me so resilient, creative. It built my imagination to think outside the box, my social skills, and everything in between, and my resilience. I'm the founder of Discovery Playtime for the last 7 years. I'm the host of the podcast, The Parenting Connection, where I've learned so much. I've developed my own public speaking. I wouldn't be standing in front of this camera 2 years ago if it hadn't been for my commitment to learn, to develop skills and play, keeping my inner child happy and just be playful every single day brings a smile to your face and so much happiness to everyone around you. I'm a single mommy and I've been parenting for over 9 years. My kids are 7 and 9 now. We're co-parenting. So it's all the daily challenges in communication that adds up, adds on top of everything. That's why communication is absolute key for everything. I've QQI level 6 in play therapy and train the trainer. So I do training for teachers as well in primary schools, and I'm studying coaching now. And we are a team of 5 in Discovery Playtime, so lots of different backgrounds and experiences. I'm only telling you these because just to show you that for the last 15 years, I have been in so many different settings, working and in different environments with the kids and with work and with the business. And I've always been talking to parents in so many different settings, and it's always the same challenges that show up. And sometimes when we don't share those challenges and try to keep it all for ourselves, it grows and grows and grows. And by sharing it, it gets smaller. And when we share a problem and we realize that we're not the only person going through it, and it's absolutely normal, and there's so much support available, those problems and challenges get a lot smaller. We can actually even laugh at the problems we had a year ago and realize it wasn't such a big deal. The power of mindset is really, 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 really powerful. So, said that, I'd like to talk about the power of routine and concentrate on that lack of time and priorities, and how to make more time for the things that are really, really important and essential in life. Having a routine is so it's just a game changer for everybody. When we have a routine in place, that gives a sense of safety to our children and also to ourselves. And safety is one of the basic needs that needs to be covered. And when they have a routine, they know what's coming next. There is a structure in place and they can predict the next move. They'll feel safe. And that's going to improve their behavior, because they don't need to react to everything that comes up. And because we know, and we're juggling so many things in our heads, it's totally understandable that we forget to tell them and we forget to involve them and we forget that they have a voice as well and a say and an opinion. But it's really important, because they'll keep reacting to everything that comes up. We need to go to do the shopping. No, I don't want to go. We need to go to the after school. No, I don't want to go. But if we plan all this and have conversations with them and involve them, it changes everything. It changes their behaviors. And it's also so important because we're setting clear limits. We're saying what's coming next and what's not coming tomorrow, but maybe the next day. And we're setting that structure and setting their expectations right. The same as our expectations will create guilt on us, for them getting the wrong expectations will create tantrums, will create meltdowns, will create challenging behavior, and will make them feel very overwhelmed and stressed and anxious and worried about things, and separation anxiety, and all these things come from not knowing what's next. Time management. Time is a very abstract concept, and children don't understand 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, and that's why we say 2 more sleeps, or it's just a more concrete aspect to time, and we can count sleeps or we can count minutes if we have a timer, but we need to see it, we need to visualize it. So by setting a structure, and I'll go now through different ways of doing that, we can help them help them understand time, reduce stress, and improve quality time, because then everything is more enjoyable. Because we can track time, we know how long we're spending in each during each activity or going to places, and that will bring a lot of quality time to everything that we're doing, rather than rushing into the next thing or being worried that we're never going to do that again, or how long do we have left. It's going to help us and our children relax and enjoy the moment. How do we do that? So we have 5 different things we can do to create that routine with our children. The first thing is start small, little steps, and we'll go through these at the end of this session with our parenting toolkit. But start small, take small steps every day. Consistency is key. Small steps, set small routines, one thing at a time. Maybe bring in one new thing tomorrow, another new thing the next day, and involve your children, involve them as much as possible, and give them safe choices. And I'll explain what a safe choice is in a little while, but involve them as much as possible. They have an opinion, and that's going to reduce their tantrums big time, because they want to be heard. They want you to listen to their choices, their opinion, and take it into account when setting routines for everybody. Stay consistent. It takes time. Practice, repetition, and consistency. If you set a new routine tomorrow and that's it, and then another one next week and that's it, and then another one next week, that's not going to work. It's that piece of consistency that's going to really make it be successful. Be flexible. Things are going to come up all the time, and you might be setting a routine, and then there's a play date, and then summer holidays, and then Christmas, and things are going to come up all of the time. But it's by being flexible, between being flexible and being consistent, and finding that always coming back to your base. And I have this routine, and yes, this happened. I can have a conversation with my child. I can explain why it's different than yesterday, today, or than we had agreed, but then we're coming back to it tomorrow. And self-care as a priority, so important. A visual routine, and we will send you, if you join our WhatsApp group, we will send you one that you can print and stick on the wall and do it together every day. It's a great bedtime activity to do before going to bed. And I really like this quote: you can let your actions control you, or you can take control of your actions. And the only difference between these two is having a routine and having a clear structure and clear goals of on what do you want today? What do you want for today? What's going to happen today? And when you set that clear routine and structure and boundaries, then you're taking control of your day and your actions. And it's all about giving, if you have a visual routine, you're giving children a choice to choose what's next. They set their realistic expectations. They understand time much better. And then that will give you time for all the important things, because then you can choose, okay, we want to do all of these, but realistically, we don't have time for all of these. So what's important to us? Let's pick just one thing, and then we can leave this one for tomorrow. And it's all about having those conversations together. As I said, it's all about being flexible. It takes practice. Yes, they will resist because they're pushing those boundaries to see, are they keeping the boundaries? Because that gives them a sense of safety. So they're going to push it to make sure it's safe, and they're still there even when they're pushing them. What if things change and I can't be consistent? That's okay. You have your base. You can come back to it whenever you need to. What if routine doesn't work for my family? Routine works for every family, because it's a psychological need, and we all need it. And it is hard, it is difficult, but it's that consistency and making small steps so it's not so overwhelming. I don't need support. Some people, I think I don't need support all the time, and then when I get support, I'm like, I could have done that myself. But realistically, it's just a lot easier, and there is no need for all that anxiety and stress if we can get that little bit of support from those around us. And now your parenting toolkit. So these are the four actions you can take tomorrow or today, starting today, and think about tomorrow. The first thing, you anticipate their reaction. So think about what you're doing tomorrow. Is there anything that you think your children are going to react to? And for example, you have to go to the shopping and they're going to be tired and they're going to complain. I don't want to do the shopping. I want to go home. I want to do this. I want to go play. I want to meet my friends. That you have to go shopping. So anticipate their reactions. They're going to complain. So set your expectations. That's what's going to happen. If I set my expectations to, I'm going to go shopping, I'm going to bring the kids to the shop, we're going to buy all the shopping, and then we're going to come back, and then they complain and start crying and throwing a tantrum about it, that just breaks your expectations. And that's where guilt and stress, and then everybody's angry, and that's where it comes in. So if you set your expectations to, I know they're going to react to this, I know that's what they're going to say, then you're setting yourself for success. The next thing you do is, if you know that's going to happen, you involve them in the planning. So then you give them a safe choice. So these come together. You involve them in the planning, as in you have conversations. We need to go shopping today because I really want to make pancakes tomorrow for breakfast, for example. But there is no flour, so we can't make pancakes. So it would be really great if you could come with me and just make sure you remind me to get flour for the pancakes, because I might forget. So I'm really, really grateful that you're coming with me to remind me the things that we need to buy. And then you give them a safe choice. So a safe choice is giving them a choice, but it's a way of, they're going to do what you want them to do. But at the same time, they do have a choice. For example, you can say, would you like to put the things in the trolley, or would you like me to put the things in the trolley? Would you like to push the trolley, or would you like me to push the trolley? They're still going to go to the shop and you're still going to do your shopping, but it's about giving them little small choices so they feel that they have a voice and that they get that sense of belonging. And stay consistent, because that's key. If you do that one day and that's it, it's not going to work. But if you do that consistently, you and them will build those new habits, and you'll all be just so much happier. So that's it for today. I hope you found this useful and you can take some small steps starting now. And I will see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we will talk about communication, because that is key for success. And for now, I want to thank you for listening and for being here and for showing up for yourself, because that's the hardest thing. And you're here today. And that means you're absolutely amazing. So I will see you tomorrow.